For this next solo, we're going to be staying primarily in third position. I'm going to switch a little bit between G minor pentatonic and G major pentatonic, and I'm also going to try to take advantage of this blues idea of playing with space. So not trying to fill up every single space with a lot of notes, but rather playing an idea, letting it breathe, and then moving on, kind of as an answer to that idea. So I'm going to try and set up each of these phrases that I play. So here's the solo with the backing track. After we listen to it, we'll come back and break it down. So this solo has 4 licks. The first lick goes like this. So this lick uses the G minor pentatonic scale. We'll start on the root note G on the 3rd fret of the high E string. On the B string, 6 to 3. Back to 6, followed by 3 on the high E. And when I get to the 6 on the B string, I usually give it just a little bit of a push. Give it a little inflection to get back to the first note again. So here's what we've done so far. Then I give it a little pause, like a little breath. So we've done this. And I answer with this. So that answer was 3 on the high E, 6 to 3 on the B, bend a whole step from the 5th fret of the G string, and then grab 3 on the B, followed by 3 on the G, back to 5 on the D. So we've just done this. And then we end up with this phrase. So that's going to be 5 on the D string, followed by 3 on the G string and the B string, back to 5 on the D string. That's our root note G, so that's where we're going to end. So we've just done this. Once again, here's the first lick. Our second lick will take up the next 4 bars, bars 5 through 8, and it goes like this. Similar to the first idea, I changed some of the notes around, but the phrasing is very similar. Once I start down a certain path with the phrasing, I want to stick to it roughly so that as the listener, you can kind of follow along with what it is I'm trying to say. So we're going to start off on the 3rd fret of the high E string, followed by 6, 3, back to 6 on the B, 3 on the high E. So far we've done this. And now once again, 3 on the high E, followed by 6 to 3 on the B. Up to this point, it's been identical to the first lick. But now we're going to go to the 6th fret of the high E string. I'll bend up 2 times and then land on the root note G on the 3rd fret of the high E. And then just to remind you what I just played, I end with this phrase, which is going to be 3 on the B string, bend up 6 on the high E string, followed by 3 on the high E string. So here's the whole lick once again. For our next lick, this will be played over bars 9 and 10 of our blues. The chords are D to C, and we're going to be using the G major pentatonic scale here. So here's the lick. So we'll start off on the B string, 3 to 5, followed by 3 on the high E, hammer on 3 to 5 on the B string, back to 3 on the B. So we've just done this. And that works over the D chord. And now for the C chord, we're going to play this. So here I'm going to start off on the B string, 3 to 5, back to 3. From the 5th fret of the high E string, bend up 2 times, and then land on 3 on the high E string. Now it's interesting here, when we get to that 5th fret of the high E string and I'm doing that bend, the bend doesn't have to be perfect. You can bend just slightly. You can bend a half step. Or you can bend a whole step. I think for this bend, what I was doing is playing roughly between a half step and a whole step. Once again, with the blues, it doesn't have to be perfect, as long as you put a little inflection in there. And the final lick, which will be a turnaround idea, goes like this. So 3 to 4 on the G string, followed by 3 on the B, 5 on the G, hammer on 3 to 5 on the B string, 3 on the high E string 2 times, 5 on the B, and to end, we'll slide 3 to 4 on the G, followed by 5 on the A string, which will be the note D. So now let's go back and try and piece all of this together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... And there's our third solo.